by any other YouTube channel, on any other YouTube channel. Very special thank you to those few of you that support my work. Thank you to Anna for your recent donation. Thank you to the support from others that recently came in. Thanks to those that subscribe at outsidethebox.vhx.tv, or those that just follow the links down below and kick down via Patreon and PayPal. It's not to be a guy that's pioneering to certain audience with them. Threats from North Korea that our country had not seen for some time, and amazing levels of solar activity. It was during that period in early 2013 that I put together the 238 slides. I'm also looking for assistants, volunteers with editing for particular projects in the future. There is so much work that we need to get on the internet now. I'm looking for students. I'm looking for co-authors. I'm looking for intelligent audience members with strong attention spans that don't suffer from memory loss. We have work to do. Now, if you don't want to answer that call, that's fine. But as the years progress, we should be writing encyclopedias. Audience members of mine that have experience with statistics should be helping create the charts. But I will do what I can single-handedly with what I have to work with all alone off the grid in the middle of nowhere. But I think it's important that the audience understands, A, I'm the only person drawing a link between this and other staged events. You know, spaceweather.com had some information on their page earlier, and it looks like they have updated their page, so it's no longer on the front page. And I want to talk to you about what was on their page. There was some sort of a statement made. I'll double check down here. Okay, it's not there anymore, but it was there earlier. And I've seen references to a magnemeter before. Magnemeters can measure the amount of geomagnetic activity under the ground. It's not just the atmosphere. And they were measuring significant geomagnetic activity in what particular nation? England. Now, Richie from Boston, a well-known YouTuber, was doing a play-by-play earlier, and he was discussing why he doesn't believe that this is a real attack. I personally don't believe that hardly any of these supposed Islamic attacks are real. I also think that many people that do believe they're real are, well, they're gullible for one thing. They're not looking at the larger picture. They're not looking at the idea of even Manchurian candidates. People did in a healthy way look at things like that 10 years ago. Not anymore. Many people believe that these are genuine acts of terror. And for years, I've talked about false flags launched when? During solar peaks. Now, so far, no one's ever commented on my article that I've written about that. I've only seen people write fake news. Fake news. It's a very small segment of even the Alex Answer YouTube audience that speaks up and says, this is content. That is key. I think a lot of people just kind of roll their eyes and go, yeah, we like you, Alex, but we don't know what you're talking about. And so people write me off as crazy. Some people stick around the channel. Others act like their top is blown. I also talk about an increase in troll-like attacks or people becoming very angry on the internet. When you combine internet addiction, constantly looking at fake light. It's kind of like channeling fake entities, constantly staring at a laptop, staring at the fake light, thinking that you're looking at the truth. Combined with solar flare activity, combined with the last full moon, combined with the total solar eclipse. Also, there seems to be someone that's been living up here for about a year that may have checked themselves into a mental hospital around the time of the total solar eclipse. So you may have thought that I was nuts sharing with you emotion and tears and insight. There are legitimate acts of people literally losing their you-know-what during these events. And it can be a healing event, the period around the solar flare. I wanted to do a video about that last night where I was just feeling my heart and visualizing emotion or pain leaving the body. So the emotion picks up on the pain. The pain could be stuck energy. It could have been with you for a lifetime. So, childhood trauma issues are coming up, if some of you have heard me refer to. That's what happens when we go through these energy changes. That will also bring out the spiritual parasites that want to feed on human emotion and make fun of humans with emotion. So going back to the conversation of trolls, trolls are more active during periods like this. They are less active when the sun is quiet. When the sun is quiet, there are less drive-by shootings. When the sun is quiet, there are less people having sex. When the sun is quiet, there are less people making death threats on the internet. So it's not that the sun is evil, because when the sun is active, we also see people having spiritual insights. So it's very important that people understand that these issues are not really issues to separate. The hurricanes, the earth changes, the solar flares, the need to go off grid, the need to understand the entities in our world trying to tear us apart and keep us fighting, and the threats from North Korea. So, yes, you can learn more about it on your own. Another missile has been fired over Japan. Think about this. We just saw the largest solar flare in a decade. I'm now on record the only man. I mean, this isn't ego. This has led to me being isolated from humans. They think I'm crazy. And so few of you support my work, but that makes you, those of you that are supporting my work, you're part of this information sharing. Doesn't matter if it was just $5. Never say that. If 100 of you donated $5, you have no idea the impact that makes. That is a punch with some gusto. That is some serious gasoline. When 2, 3 of you every single day decide to sign up, you're helping me share this science in a world, right? That all this science should be an encyclopedia. When this happens, the power elite of the world, where they know they're acting irrationally, just like Carol Moore wrote about when she wrote about sunspot strategy and activist strategy. Carol Moore is like one of the few, right? At least it was a female, or the rest of them seem to be male. And yes, women are affected by the sunspots, it seems, predominantly through migraines. I've seen hundreds of women go, is my migraine connected to the solar flare? But very few of them also writing about the solar flares, just asking on social media. And then I answer their question. But then it seems like it's like, it's like so strange of an idea, they just forget they made a connection. And I think that forgetfulness isn't by accident. Some others were also noting that there was a lot of psychic attack energy on this YouTube channel. And we can ask ourselves, why is that? Now, again, some of these ideas I started speaking about 5, 6 years ago, making my 1-hour presentation public in 2013. And so the support that's coming in is going to supporting information like this going out. You're part of this. You're part of this. You're part of this. That means you get some credit for helping me expand my work. Think about it. I could have accepted a job working full-time, rolling tacos. If, of course, not Taco Bell, but that company hired me, another one where they do burritos, much better than Taco Bell. 10 applications in town. Is it fate? Is it really just racism or being afraid of my last name, or me not being white enough? Or does the universe have a plan for me over the course of this winter to be speaking about things that no one in the conspiracy research community is discussing? No one in the scientific community is discussing the links between geopolitical events, or what is taking place in our world, and an increase in solar activity. This is still knowledge that is being ignored by today's intellectuals. Are they really intellectuals? Because to me, this is what it means to be human. To realize that light is not a lamp bulb in the sky. It is not a light bulb. It does more than influence people to get into their bikinis and do a little mating dance on the Florida beaches. Shaky, shaky, shaky. No, it's more than that. There's a reason that they're ovulating, and there's more sperm in their you-know-what, and they're thinking more about babies and missiles and human excitability things as they twerk, twerk, twerk. But as much as people write about the sun and talk about the sun and, ooh, the grid and, oh, the aurora borealis, oh, the total solar eclipse, oh, I cried for 2 minutes, I cried. Like, wow, this is what kind of a soul prison is yours truly in, where the billions on this earth have no idea what I'm talking about. How often do you see the largest solar flare in a decade? Gee, I think I just told you with that one. How often do you see North Korea firing missiles over Japan? Well, this is the second time. Okay, do we have a correlation? How many hundreds of attacks in London have occurred after solar flares? Because I believe I've counted dozens. Okay, I need an assistant who does graphs, charts, mathematics, who builds websites, who has the time for this. This is the time. We can wait no longer for more evidence. We need to be creating books. And I want you to think about this. The scientific community does not get into the consciousness element or the idea of false flags. The spiritual community only looks at the sun when they want to hijack the sun for their ascension quantum ninjutsu theories. Ah, yes, the age of Aquarius, they take it and they create disinformation about the sun as they steer away from the sun and try to give credit to some other entity, energy, or planet without dealing with what we can see, touch, feel, measure. People are more concerned with saying that the earth is flat and that the sun isn't real than noting the real-time conspiracies to stage events like this that lead to decisions and plans like this. When people are emotional over this and the events taking place, I'm trying to figure out what kind of a matrix this is. Because the others that talk about solar flares don't talk about everything that's on the hamburger. Okay, they may mention that on a hamburger you may occasionally have mustard, but there's so much more to a burger and what could go on it. There's mustard, there's ketchup, there's habanero, there's onion, there's pickle. I'm starting to really feel hungry. I wish my car was working. For those that don't know, my car's not working, and I'm basically without transportation. So the most simplest of support, wow, thank you. I'm hoping to have the car. It's a connector issue. I'm also barely going to have enough money this winter to pay my land payments and have heat. But I am going to try to minimize all because I don't go anywhere. I don't spend anything. I don't have any vacations. I don't go out to eat. So what that means is I'm here all the time. But see, maybe the universe, and this really depicts the universe. You know, the aurora borealis. That's not just cheese. It's not you I'm talking about. It's the average human being. Try not to take offense. But seriously now, that's spiritual essence. That's prana. That's chi. That's lush, as my friend likes to call energy. Lush. Okay? That's not just some light. That's lush. That's energy. That's prana. It's interacting with those trees. It's interacting with human beings. And on an advanced level, whether you think of them as aliens, archons, or demons, they know the moment